This is why you struggle in really finding love. I think it's really important that we note not only is it very seldom that a lot of people feel like they can just walk into a relationship and be gratified by one and have this amazing relationship, but it does take work. And a lot of us can feel like we're frustrated, that we are not getting anywhere, and that does this partner even exist, right? And we suffer a lot in relationships and love and from pain and so much. And a lot of us have all of that in common, right? Mm-hmm. So we wanted to make this video in regards to, for you guys, for you men, and really, really understand like what is the most reasons what we see, or what are the the reasons of what we see of why people struggle in finding love.
Yeah, guys tend to blame themselves a lot too. I find like, what is it with me that I just can't find the right person? Mm-hmm. What is it with me that I'm not doing right? How can I attract this person? Like I feel like I'm losing her, and all these blaming thoughts come into them. And I feel like it's not about finding the right person. I always say that you have to become the right person in order to attract that into your life. Yeah. And what that means, what I mean with this is, you have to date yourself a little bit, and the question for you will be, would I date me? You know, and am I dateable? Is that even a word?
Yeah, well, we'll make
am
one.
I dateable? You know, like, would I date myself? Like, what are the things in my life that I need to kind of work on? Because sometimes it's not about finding love, but what are the barriers that, or what I'm putting my guard up, and I'm not welcoming love. I'm not accepting love, because it is past traumas. It is like something from my childhood that I need to heal. We all have traumas. We all have it somehow, either from childhood, past relationship, we've been cheated on, we've been like, whatever the case may be. If we don't heal from that, we are going to end up projecting that into our next relationship, or scaring the person we're dating away. And then you're like, what's wrong with, there's nothing wrong with you. It's just you have so many barriers that you've created subconsciously that makes you not welcome it into your life. And once you start healing those past traumas, then you'll start realizing little by little that person will naturally just you attract that into your life. But doing the work on you, it is so vital in order to welcome love. Not so much as like, what's wrong with me, why I'm not finding love. It's like, what's keeping me from attracting it.
Yeah,
you know?
And attracting the right person. I think a lot of
yeah.
men struggle with also too attracting the right woman. Like they might get this woman, but then they're like, oh, I just don't know if it's the right one. Or they get so infatuated with one woman because they're trying to make this work because of the fact that they've invested time, money, hopefully not, but things like that. And I think it's really important. And I want to share two things and reasons why I feel like a lot of reasons why men struggle in finding love. But if this is the first time visiting, I welcome you, and I welcome you to subscribe to this YouTube channel, as we are both coaches for men with dating, life, and attraction, and we help men both get results in life and dating. And my name is Apollonia Ponti. I'm the founder of ApolloniaPonti.com, and this is Coach Cynthia. And I do think that number one thing that I see regards to men finding love is not able to find love is remember that everything you're projecting is your mirror. Right?
Yeah.
So whatever conscious feeling and unconscious feeling that you have within yourself, you're going to find that person that feels the same way in some sort or another, right? So let's say that you feel that you're not worthy of a relationship. Well, you might find a woman that has lack of confidence, right? And then you're trying to constantly make it work with her, and it's hard for her to commit, right? And then number two is the lack of values, right? So like we're not getting clear on values and standards. And I really think that in our society, we literally scream at women to like choose a great man, to make sure he treats you right, to make sure this is, you have standards for the men that you date. Make sure that he treats his mother right. Make sure he does XYZ, right? Make sure he has a stable job. Like this is literally ingrained in women when we are growing up. But what's happening on the flip side for men is like, that doesn't happen for men. What happens typically for men is like, make sure you're strong, make sure that you get a great job, and make sure that you make money, and make sure that you do XYZ. But no one's teaching men or telling men, for the most part, that make sure you actually pick a good girl. What are good women out there? What do they look like? What are your values for the women that you uphold? What are your standards for the women that you uphold? And men have a right to have standards for the women that they date, not just women. And that's where I feel like where men lack in finding love is because they get into these broken relationships or these half-broken women, or dating broken women, or not, or broken themselves, I should say, but also too, where we're like, one, we're not healing, one, we're not figuring out like what is our mirror, and two, we're not actually having standards for ourselves and values for ourselves. And I think in order for us to have standards and values for ourselves, we have to understand too that we must uphold these standards and values within us too. So if we're asking for respect, what does respect look like to you for a woman, right? If we're asking for loyalty, what does loyalty look like for you? And you have to actually embed and have that too. And it goes far beyond finding love. I think a lot of us are thinking like, I'm lonely. I'm lonely because I want to find love, because there's a sense of loneliness sometimes in people. And I always say, like, there's so much in this world for us to create. There's so much in this world for you to do. So if you find yourself not putting yourself out there, you're finding yourself lonely, at the end of the day, it is your fault that you are not putting yourself out there. A lot of times we talk to men too that have invested so much time in their careers that they forgot all about their dating lives. So their social skills have gone down. And so what happens is you have to get yourself out there in order for your social skills to go up, for you to meet people, because literally nobody comes to your door and says, do you want $100,000? Right? Like, no.
Do you want a date?
Yeah. And then, Cynthia's not going to walk on the door and be like,
knock on your door. Would you like to take me on a date?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like we have to go out there and find it. We have to go out there and get it. We have to go out there and build the life and create the life that you love. So also the perfect woman can be a part of it, and she should be doing the same too.
Yeah, and there's no time frame for that either, because I find like a lot of society has put a lot of pressure on men also, and women too. Like, oh, if you're like getting to 40, are you getting married? Like, are you gonna date? Like, there is no time frame to heal anything that you need to heal. Like, if you don't feel ready at 40, then why you should be feel pressure to just marry and lower your standard just because at that age you should be married, or at that age you should have kids, when you're ready, and you'll know it. And putting yourself out there, you learn what type of woman you're attracting. You get to know yourself a little more, because with every dating experience, you get to know who you are, what you want, your values, what would you accept, your non-negotiables, your boundaries, all of that. Because all dating experiences are learning lessons, and everybody's teaching you something about you. So with that being said, that whatever you've learned throughout your dating stage, then whenever you're ready, that person comes to you, is going to feel right. Sometimes you might come across the counterfeit that
the counterfeit
that we just talked about
on
the
the
other
podcast.
And that's perfect, because that makes you feel like
you're getting closer.
I'm getting closer, like.
Don't settle for the counterfeit.
Don't settle for the counterfeit.
We actually have that on our podcast called the Write Your Legend podcast. I'll link it below.
Yes, but then you feel, and I don't know if you've been through that, like, before you found the right man in your life, you had that counterfeit that made you know what's best for you.
Oh, for sure.
And you felt it, and it was right, and that feeling is when, I've mastered. Like, healing is a process. We always heal from something. Things happen, but
have standards for the women that you date. Like, that's
absolutely.
that's so important for men to understand.
Don't rush.
Have standards for the freaking women you date. Just because she has a pretty face does not mean that she's wife material.
Yep.
I mean, it's plain and simple. And if you guys need help with this, I would really encourage you to book a private session with one of our coaches, me, head coach Natalie, coach Cynthia. We can really help you with this as well in regards to your life or dating life. If you're looking for more incredible content that will change your life in dating and relationships, check out this video right over here. This is absolutely made for you. And also too, don't forget to download this free ebook down below. It's my 7 common mistake ebook that men make when attracting women in dating and relationships, and I have it specially for you. See you in the next video.